Wow, this guy.
Where I'm just working with one or two guys.
Making kingdom moves, spinning no business like me, Shaq. Aiming for our goals, clear clack. Moving forward, no need to reach back.
Welcome back to the greatest kingdom show on the internet. My name is Joseph Honeysett. This is the CROWNEDCAST. And with me, as always, my brother, Mr. Joel M. Ngulu. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, blessed, highly favored, bro. Motivated. Let's go.
Motivated, dedicated, perspirated.
Everything, bro. All the above. Rejuvenated,
all the aideds, bro.
Yeah, bro. How are you doing, bro?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Feeling good. You know, God's been showing up on my end and just a lot of different things. And what I want to do, we got a special appearance from the young Olivia in the background right now. Yeah, man, everything is great. I have no complaints, man. God has really just brought a lot of peace in my life for things that I've been praying for over years, man. And, you know, it's in his timing. And, you know, I think with his timing, there's a lot of things that he was teaching me and just showing me more of how to lean on him. And, you know, he came through just like he always does. But yeah, man, it's been awesome.
Man, you want to talk about that? Like, bro, because I mean, I know you the behind the scenes, but do you want to talk about just the breakthrough, bro? Like, because you've been praying for years, bro. And this is something that you like, it should be easy process, you know, like the veterans, it should be easy, like process for you to get it, right? But it's been a struggle. All right. And so I feel like God is giving me a breakthrough. He talked about the breakthrough and what you did to get the breakthrough, right?
Yeah, man. I can definitely share. I mean, you know, for those of you guys just watching for the first time, I'm a veteran. I served 6 years in the Air Force. And after you leave the military, you get entitled to certain benefits with the VA, right? Like if you get hurt or damaged, broken, blown up, whatever, you get compensated for what occurred while you were in the Air Force. And every veteran, anybody that's in the military will tell somebody that's about to get out, hey, make sure you get everything that you can from the VA. And, you know, there's different percentage ratings, which, you know, there's different compensation levels to get to, you know, certain compensation levels associated with percentages. And everybody wants to get to that 100%. And it's a struggle because people think the VA is there to really help veterans. But if you talk to veterans about how the VA is, they won't tell you that, right? It's a big pain. And it's a very bureaucratic system, right? And so it's a struggle. I got out in 2019 and I've been, you know, first got evaluated at 60%. And, you know, that was in 2019. We're now in 2026, so almost 7 years later, you know, I finally got that 100% disability rating. And so, man, it's a blessing because, you know, it's something that, you know, I sacrificed my life to. I got hurt, I got broken, I got damaged, right? Like PTSD, all that stuff. And that's just, you know, I guess one of the things that you don't know you're going to go through when you sign up, especially being young. But also there's that benefit from making those sacrifices too, man. So it's been a long ways awaited, but it's definitely a blessing, especially like being a full-time entrepreneur, to know that you have just that something steady coming in to really allow you to focus. And so, man, it's just a blessing. So,
bro,
yeah, it's been a long road.
Yeah, dog. Well, thank you, bro. Thank you for your services, man. And any other veterans out there, like, thank you, because people don't understand like what y'all go through, and when y'all come back, sometimes it feels like no one's appreciated what y'all go through a lot mentally, right? Life, as we talk about this podcast, majority of things of life is mindset, right? And so, just thank you, man. What did you do for like? You feel like, because I feel like you've been asking God, I was like, I'll bless you, but you're not doing what I'm telling you to do. Right. And a lot of times Christians are like, hey, God's asking you to do something simple. You're not doing it because it seems lame, or it seems like there's no way I can get money through that. There's no way I can get wealth through that. Right. And then God is like, hey, I'm asking you to do this simple thing. Right. Can you talk about for you, like, because you got a breakthrough but you had a change in mindset, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have persistence and grit. I think that's one of the like intangible things that everybody needs to have, because there's going to be certain situations in life, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're just, somebody going to work, you need to have grit for certain experiences, because you can't control things in life. The only thing that you can control is your actions and your attitude. And once you realize that, you're able to have peace. And that's why like having a close relationship with Jesus is so important, because if you can't control things, well, where are you going to get peace from? Right. And so constantly communicating to God and being detailed about, hey, this is what I'm asking for you because of X, Y, Z. Right. Like God, that's why I speak to God every day, multiple times a day. But if he tells you, hey, this is my plan for your life, you have to, go out on faith and put action into that and understand that he's going to provide. And I'll share this because I've never shared this on the podcast, but like probably about 8 months into, being a full-time entrepreneur, I love being an entrepreneur, but it's not always easy, especially from like a financial standpoint, as you're building up your business and there's so much overhead in the beginning.
Yep.
And there was a moment where, first 8 months, like we were, Crown wasn't bringing in a whole bunch of money. And like, I was just like, God, like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, man, you're never going to be an employee ever again. Like, you're exactly where I want you to be. You just need to trust me. And so from then on, I won't say I've never questioned, because there is times where I'm like, I don't question, was that you, God? I question, God, when are you going to show up? Because you told me these things, but I'm like, man, brother, I know you see my bills, you see what I'm going through, like, help a brother out. And it's not necessarily what I needed to do, because God isn't a transactional God. God is a transformational God, right? So it's not like, oh, I need to go do good works or anything like that. I think it's really just trust, right? Like, God wants to see us trust him, and like wholeheartedly. It's like, all right, I know I'm struggling. I know I have a family I have to provide for. Most people are going to go back on what God told them because they want to get in their own way, because they're like, man, I just got to make something happen. I know what God told me, but like, man, my wife's down my back. Like, it's tight. Like, as a man, I got to provide. But I believe those are all tests. And I think he also wants to see us stay true to what he told us, right? Like, man, if you're going to believe it, like, believe it. Don't go back and forth with it, right? And don't question my authority, because I am God. I am the God that split the sea. I am the God that made King Solomon the wealthiest man in the world, because for wisdom. I am Jehovah Jireh. I'm the provider. I'm the God that gave manna to Moses and the Israelites in the desert when they had nothing. So you don't think I can't do that for you? Stop playing, right? And the hardest part is the in between, from the word to like the word he gives you to it showing up. That in between is the toughest time, because we think so much of the world is physical when it's more spiritual. And ultimately, God's timing is the most important, because as I'm going through that season, I'm learning more about myself, my relationship with God, but also just increasing that business acumen, increasing the standard, right? And so everything was a win. It wasn't like, he told me that, and the whole time I'm struggling, life sucks, like I'm down in the dumps. Not to me, and I'm different from most people, but to me, it was an honor to struggle, to make serious sacrifices in my life, because I knew God was going to show up. And my praise and my worship to God, and this is what I feel like, is by honoring that season. and being committed to that and not wavering on it. Like that's how I worship you. I trust you and I love you so much that I'm just going to be here in this season and I'm going to be happy about it. Right. So, this is a financial conversation we're talking about, but that could be a health conversation for somebody. That could be a marriage or a relationship conversation for somebody. It's like, now God told me that you're going to be my wife, my husband. I don't see it yet, but in God's timing, because through the molding, the posturing, the pruning, you're able to see that results on the other end because you stay true to what he told you.
Come on, bro. Come on, Pastor, man. Tell him, brother. No, seriously, bro. I mean, people don't. The problem is people don't know what season they're in, And when you're in that season, he's not asking you to swim. So it's almost like we're in the ocean, right? We have a destination to go to, the island, and we're swimming. The waves are there. We're swimming, right? We're like, all right, man. I don't care if I got to get a tidal wave. I'm good. That happens and we win, right? We're good. But then there's a moment where you're like in a whirlpool, and God's like, you're not going nowhere, bro. You just got to just tread water. And a lot of times we're like, no, I'm still swimming. No, God, well, I'll get this life jacket. I'll try this boat,
Yeah.
But sorry, man, I got dogs in the background. Anyways, but a lot of times guys like, hey, I'm asking you to swim, bro. I'm asking you to do anything. I just want you to tread water and survive.
Yep, exactly. Because when you tread, this is a crazy thing. I'm glad you said that, man, because I've been teaching my daughter how to swim. We've been going to the pool every day. And in 2 weeks, she went from not knowing how to swim, she's 4 years old, to swimming on her own, no floaties, nothing, going underwater, jumping in the deep end. But for a while, for like the first week, she was just basically treading water. But by treading water, that built up the skill, that built up the muscle, that built up the grit to not be scared, right? To not have fear anymore. Because when you're literally submerged in what is scary, it starts to become normal. And then you're like, you know what? Now I know how to navigate through this now. Because what did you do? Man, you were just treading water. You got the muscles for it now. So that's like, it's such a great analogy for life, right? Like you can either jump in the pool, struggle, almost drown, and choose to never go swimming again in your life. Or you can be like, you know what? I want to make this happen. I don't know how, but I'm just going to do my best. Every single day, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to get 1% better, and then 1% better, and 1% better. And then over time, you're going to learn how to swim.
Exactly. But yeah, but also too, man, let's say you already do know how to swim, because like you go through the journey and then you get back in that whirlpool, because the whirlpool happens all the time. That's the storms of life, right? So now you're better because you expect it now. Before I didn't expect it and it threw me off, and I'm like, I thought, God, you're with me and you're going to protect me this whole time. And he's like, I am. You're in the whirlpool, you're still alive, And so that treading water is just like the wood in the season. And he's not asking you to do anything but just sit there and rest. And you're like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. But God is like, just sit there, right? You're in jail. It's like Joseph for 13 years was in jail, right? You can't do nothing in that wilderness season. You just got to sit there and talk with God, get closer to God, right? And that's all he did. And so, man.
But I bet if you talk to him.
You said what?
You said you were talking about Joseph, right?
Yeah, Joseph. Like, I'm pretty sure.
I bet if you talk to Joseph, or you talk to Daniel after he came out of the lion's den, and you asked him, hey, Joseph, hey, Daniel, would you guys if you could go back and change that, would you? Even though you couldn't do anything, you couldn't live your life. I guarantee you, they'd be like, that was one of the greatest things that I ever went through because of who I became through it.
Yeah. But also too, it's like Israel, bro. It's like when you finally decide to do what God asks you to do, that's when the blessing will come. And so exactly. Like for me, man, I feel like I kind of went through the same thing you're going through, right? And God's like, hey, I didn't ask y'all to go be the best business people and go be the best marketers. I asked y'all to go preach my word. Go use that mouthpiece that I give you to go preach the gospel. Yeah, you can use business, but use this podcast. Use the platform you have to just preach my word. Teach about kingdom business, kingdom leadership, what that looks like. What is that? Do you know your identity? Do you know your calling? Do you know what fivefold ministry you fall under? right? Like, do you know all these things? And God's like, I asked you to focus on that. And for you, you're like, oh, this doesn't sound cool. I'm gonna go find my other way, you know. And so God's like, you know what? I'm gonna take your Achilles away. Now you're gonna be limping like Jacob. Like Jacob, when you finally submit, you're gonna be blessed. Now you're gonna have a little mark on you because you didn't want to listen, but it's gonna remind you of the day you kind of gave up and surrendered to God, you know. And so that's what's about, man. For me, it's like, stop trying to figure out your life and just let God, or He already has it planned for you, and just do what He says. And that's when the blessing will come. Don't worry about where the money's going to come out of it. Like for you, like you had that blessing come through, but you were trying to figure out how to make the blessing. You were trying to get new clients. You were trying to like, hey, and God's like, Lord, just preach my gospel. I got you. And now the breakthrough came through in a different way. You know,
exactly.
That's what's about, man. That's what I've learned too. That's the reason I wanted to talk about it, because I'm going through that season, and guys like, man, all I asked you was just preach my word, and you're trying to do other things, and that's where you're going around in circles. It feels like, right? But honestly, He's like, hey, just tread water, just stay in there. I got you, but you're learning to submit to me even more in that.
Exactly. It's, and even, nowadays, I think this is kind of a younger generation thing. I don't think our parents maybe had this mindset, but people are so quick to just look at, well, where's the benefit of me doing this? What's the benefit of me even trying to learn how to swim and tread water? Right. And if they don't see it in the beginning, then they're like, you know what? I'll just never go swimming ever again. But you have to understand, you may not see the benefit right now. The benefit is going to come on the other end, because you're like, oh my gosh, like, man, I did this. I learned this. I know how to do this now. And like, you gained all these different things from doing one thing that had nothing to do with these things. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so people are just so transactionally focused. And so sometimes you got to, like, you're not going to always see the benefit. And I think that's why people ultimately hold themselves back, because they're like, well, what's in it for me? It's like, well, nothing right now.
It goes back to
what it will be.
Yeah, but it goes back to what we talked to that, like, I think 2 weeks ago, like the Interstellar, right? The answer is always there inside out. The benefit people are looking outside, where the benefit that you got was inside, right? And so like a young person that goes in there like, but what's in it for me? Well, there's going to be inwardly transformation. But for you, you're like, no, I need money. That's going to transform. That's going to transform me mentally.
Forget that inward transformation. I don't need that.
I need that. But the inward transformation is going to allow you to get the money. You know, so it's crazy, bro. Yeah. But like, everything's inside out, bro. The answers are right there in front of you. You just got to look inside out, man. And so, but yeah, bro, I mean, I just wanted to bring that up because that's what I've been on lately, man. If you ask me, what has God been saying lately? It's been, hey, man, get a line. You already know what to do. Just do what I ask you to do. Even if it's not sexy, even if it's not pretty, just go do that. And you'll be blessed in a different way than what you thought. And it's on purpose. It's on purpose. But, man, let's pivot. Let's pivot.
We were just talking about this real quick right before the podcast. Is, we were just talking about Canada and them passing a bill that basically criminalizes preaching and criminalizing the Bible, right? Especially like in public, and just how it they're posturing it as hate speech, right? Which it's so funny, like. Man, it's just so funny how the world manipulates things. Because if you truly open the Bible, man, it's nothing but a book of love, bro. A love that we can't even get in this lifetime from another human being.
Love letter.
It's considered hate speech. And it's funny too, right? Because it's June. It's Pride Month. This is coming out, right? And, I've been seeing and coming across so many different videos because of the month and how the algorithm is on just pride and people preaching and, people part of the LGBTQ communities, getting mad at like people coming up to them, telling them like, hey, Jesus loves you. And which is so funny because that community is all about love. It's all about love and accepting, but it's a false love. It's a false reality, because the only love that it's teaching is love of yourself and acceptance of yourself, even though you may be different. But what's so funny is nobody loves a gay person more than a Christian does. Nobody loves a Muslim more than a Christian does. Nobody loves, somebody that hates God more than a Christian does. That's what's different about us when it comes to Christians. Muslims and Islam, I respect their discipline, but man, when the point of Islam is to convert people into becoming Muslim, and if they don't, you're gonna murk them. I'm sorry, that's not a religion of true love and peace. What you don't see Christians doing that. You know what I mean? You see people manipulating the word and doing it for God. But if you understand what the Bible, the roots, the foundation, you understand, hey, you're off basis. You know what I mean? It's like the Dave Chappelle skit that, the black guy was blind, but he was racist towards black people because he didn't know that he was black. Right? You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not actually that. Like, you're coming from that perspective, but you're not really part of the KKK because you black. You can't be part of this.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, back then there were Christians that were crazy. That was why Simon, one of the disciples, the zealots no, they were crazy, bro. They were like radicals, bro. They're gonna go kill you if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, or at the time believe in God, right? Yeah, man, it's crazy because people don't know what love truly is. Love in their eyes is, hey man, you do good for me, I do good for you, I'm good, right? I actually had a conversation with somebody who was like, do you think what love is when I do good to you, you do good, you're happy, right? And so whenever someone does good to you, you're always gonna be happy. If they do bad to you, you're not gonna be happy about them, right? That's not what true love is. True love is whenever they do bad to you, you actually love on them and you forgive them, show them grace. And so the world where they have it, they think love is like acceptance. No, love is acceptance through I'm angry at you, right? So like, let's say me and you, man, yeah, I can say I love Joseph. Now, let's say Joseph went and stole $300 from me. Do you still love Joseph? You're going to be like, yeah, I don't know. Man, he's not a good person. You start judging him. And do you still love him though? That's when God's going to judge you. How much do you love him that? Like now, if he needs water and he owes you $300, you're going to give him water, or you're going to say, hey, give my $300 first. It's that type of agape love where I love you through your weakness. I love you through like when you offend me. That's what Jesus did. Like God literally, hey, you guys offend any humans? I'm gonna actually show you my love more by becoming one of you guys, and then you guys kill me, and you guys that's the love sacrifice.
Bro,
it's deep, bro. It's deep.
It's deep because that's the whole story of the crucifixion and resurrection. Yes, Jesus is he's not even standing. He's there nailed on the cross. Check this out. He's there nailed on the cross, his arms up on the cross, as if he's there, up against the world. And what does he say? Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they have done. They're spitting at him. He just got the crown of thorns. They poked him with a spear. And that is his response. Not, punish them, release me from this cross. Man, I don't love these people anymore. He says, forgive them, for they do not know what they have done. What kind of love can you find in this world from that? You can't. You can only find that from God. And I'll also add this is, that's why it's so important to let God and God's word, the Bible, transform your life from an inside out, just like we were talking about before. But I'll even go away from the Bible because when you do that internally, you're able to get yourself there. Some people can't fathom, man, how can you forgive somebody that stole $30,000 from you?
Or
how can you do that? Or that killed your kid? Or you know what I mean? How can you do that? Well, when you understand what your calling is, and this is everybody's calling, whether you believe in God or you don't, it don't matter because that's how God made the world. So we're all supposed to get to that point. Yeah. But if we take it to a worldly perspective, there's this great book called The Four Agreements. In the Four Agreements, it talks about one of the agreements is never take anything personally. And so regardless of what somebody does to you, that's a reflection of who they are inside of them.
Yeah.
Right. So if somebody comes up to you and they spit on your face just randomly, and they're like, man, F you, Joel, and they spit on your face, and you're just crossing the street, you did nothing. So there's literally no reason to get mad, because that's a them issue than it is a you issue.
Right.
And to tie it back to what I'm talking about with, the pride of the month of pride and, LGBTQ and the videos I was talking about, man, if you see these preachers, they're just so calm. They're like, man, just, Jesus loves you. And they're like, man, F you, man, get out of here. Nobody wants to hear that. It's 2 a.m. We're trying to party. Like, go talk to somebody else. Like, that's a reflection of themselves inwardly, which is not love, which is their whole community and what it's about. You see what I'm saying?
No,
so it's a false love. It's not even real love. They don't even love themselves. So how could they love anybody else? How could they even fathom somebody loving them for who they are, even if they're making mistakes? They can't get it because they don't even love themselves.
I mean, but Jesus, he calls you accountability. So like, it's just crazy because you can say, hey man, Muhammad loves you. Hey, Buddha loves you. They're not gonna get mad. They'll be like, hey, peace, brother. I'll be like,
yeah, Gandhi loves you, dog.
He loves you, man. And like, yeah, man, we love Gandhi, man. But if I say Jesus, oh no, that's a red alert. But my thing is like, this is just the psychology of it. Like, why is Jesus red alert? That tells you something that
it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah, it tells you
that's it.
Hey, maybe if the whole world hates him, then he might be the correct one, right? If Satan is the controlling of this world, the prince of this world, the king of this world, whatever, right? And he's the king and he's against God, and you guys agree to that, every religion hates Jesus. So there might be like, just think of it like psychology wise, man. Like, you don't think to ask questions like, man, why is Jesus? What about Jesus? Let me do my own research. Let me figure out. But no one wants to do their research anymore. They just want to get told what to do, watch YouTube shorts, and that was their belief, right?
You know what somebody should do? They should go up to people and be like, hey, Satan loves you. I bet you nobody would say nothing. Like, of course he does. You know what I mean? Like, I promise you.
Except Africans, bro. Africans will be like, in Jesus' name, get away.
Yeah. I rebuke you.
I promise. It's funny, bro. But yeah, man, it's just sad. Like, my thing is just, it's more of a psychology thing. Because when I talk to people, man, I really want to understand why you believe that. Like, I'm not going to judge you. And even in business, wherever I do, I talk to you to see where you're coming from, right? So psychology is huge for me. But I just look at the way the world hates Jesus. I'm just thinking, like, why though? You have to ask those questions in your head, like yourselves. And so it's just sad, man. It's sad.
It is, bro. What else you got?
Man, I wanted to go currently, because I'm African, right? So the World Cup, man, next week, bro, June 11th, bro. It starts. I'm excited because for sure, Congo, first time in 50 years, 52 years to be exact, I believe, or 50. At least it's over 50 years that we got in the World Cup, right? Man, growing up for me, I used to always think Congo was just, oh man, we're not in the World Cups or we're not in FIFA games because we're too poor or we have nothing. Then I started realizing the corruption behind it, the reality of why we're not in the World Cup, why it's not elevated country, bro. If you know the country, if you know, like, if it was equivalent to what it's actually worth, it would be the richest country in the world right now. For like,
y'all got those resources.
Yeah, bro. But it's just like, why is the top 3 poorest? Like, it's just crazy, man. So for me, I know this obviously political. There's obviously the world needs those resources, so that's a part of it. But man, I just know guys exposing a lot of things. So the fact that they're in the World Cup, it's going to highlight the country, and people are going to talk about it. More people are talking about what's going on, and I'm just happy, bro. But with this whole Ebola crisis again that's coming out, bro, like they always say these things about African countries, man. But man, if you really go over there and it's not really true, man. It's just annoying, right? How propaganda gets to everybody to scare people from going, from people investing, from people to change, right? The continent can grow. But yeah, man, this whole Ebola thing is annoying because, like, they're saying, oh man, Congolese players might not be able to come play in the World Cup because all this Ebola crisis and they got to be detained and all that. So I'm just frustrated at that. But it is next week, so we'll see if they get to play. If they don't get to play, bro, I'm gonna be so mad. But yeah, I'm saying there's a lot of political controversy around.
FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations in the world.
Yeah, I know. And they're mad too. I saw this other thing that came out. They're mad because like this is the first FIFA or World Cup that the tickets are low, hotels, everything business-wise is down. The numbers are down because it's America and Trump is super strict about the immigrant people coming over here. And so people are saying, why did FIFA choose a country that, first of all, football, they don't even like football here, like soccer. And second of all, they don't want anyone to come over there. And so I saw the article. I was like, interesting. That's crazy, bro. It's about to get real interesting, bro, this summer.
It is, man. Yeah, I got a question for you. Would you ever want to serve in political office for the Congo? Like, would you ever would you like to be the president of the DRC?
Brother, man. Oh, man. If you ask me, you ask young Joel.
He say, yeah.
And yeah, I'm still young, man, but I'm talking about with no experience in my mid-20s, man. I've heard a lot. I felt a lot of grit lately, man. But yeah, man, I would have been, yes, man, let's do it. Let's go tomorrow. The country needs to change, blah, blah, blah. And I actually was trying to aspire to do that. Man, 2022, when I got humbled, God was like, wait on my time. Go read books, go develop yourself, and you're still not developed yet. And I was like, no, I am. I just kind of let that stuff go. And I was like, you know what? I don't care about all that stuff. I still have passion, but I kind of don't want to be aggressive with it because it is like corrupted and it is sketchy. You don't just jump into it real prideful and boastful. And so you want, like, for me, I'm kind of like, if you want me to do anything like that, you're going to do it. Do I want to do it? Would I like to do it? Yes, for sure, 100%. But I'm not in a rush anymore, man. I've learned to value it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you ask me that same question about the United States, my answer would be no.
Really? Why is that? Curious.
I think it's one of the worst jobs in the world. Like, yes, it'd be cool to just, be in that powerful position, right? Leader of the free world. But man, just like any other country, like all countries are corrupt. Like, let's just be intellectually honest. It's the president isn't even the one that has the most power. It's all these different groups and NGOs and countries and billionaires that have more power, and especially when they donate to your campaign, right? So you like it's not as glamorous as I think when you're a kid. You think like, man, I'm gonna be the president one day. Shout out to William, the speaker. You know what I mean? He wants to be the president. I wanted to see him do it.
Yeah.
But because I thought the same thing at that age. But when you get older, I think, especially my experience with the government, I think I'm just a little bit more jaded, and I see the full picture and what it actually is. Would I love to? Would I love to like cause change? Yes, but I don't need to hold a presidency to do that.
Right. I mean, here in America it's different because you have diplomacy, you have those like parties and things. I mean, if you go to Africa, other countries, it's more like the president is in control. So he makes a law, he makes a decision, and people do it, right? And so for me, it's more about the change. The only thing I don't like about it is the time demand, it is time consuming. But,
yeah, 24/7.
I do like that pressure. I've always liked that pressure of responsibility to lead and all that. And so for me, I like it, but it's not for everybody, man. It's not for everybody.
Oh, they would hate me, bro. They would hate me.
But let me ask you this though, man, because you talked about it's more corrupted. Let me ask you this: which one's more corrupted, the political space, like in the world, or the religious space?
It's a good question.
I know the answer, right? Because you were talking about, man, it's too corrupted. I'm like, hey, man, being a pastor and being like in the religious space, if you're like a leader, it gets really corrupted up there too, man. And then you got to stand before God and they tell you to do something,
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, here's the thing, like the only like religious leader that the world really has is the Pope. Like there's really not a whole lot of other denominations that have like a leader specific to their denomination. And even I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I don't know if Islam has like a like the top imam, right? Their top preacher that like tells the people, you know, what Allah is saying or whatever, right? I don't think that there is. Um, I think it's kind of a thing. Like as you climb, this is going to sound crazy, but I think it's a reality. The more powerful you become, the more you deal with corruption. So, and I don't even think it's a lot of the time the leader's fault. There's just so many things happening that you don't have time to focus to where you could have like a deputy or, you know, a person, you know, four rankings down from you that has power, but it's leveraging your power to kind of fit their own narrative, right? So I think it's still political. I think it's still political. But I'm not saying that it's not close.
I would say it's way more religious.
You think so?
Way more.
I think back in the day,
because like, it goes into the conspiracies where we talk about how the world started, right? Who's the world? Who's the billionaires? Who are those people, right? And then you go into who do they believe, who do they serve, right? And then who are they trying to corrupt? Like talk about principalities, like Prince of Persia, all those spirituality, Babylon, right? All that's religion that boils down into political, but it starts from like who are you serving. And so like when you go into like, bro, I'm just going off of the corruption we've talked about on the podcast or just things we've seen down rabbit holes. Like, bro, you know, like even in today's church, right, the Western like church, you have to submit your lessons to the city hall before every service. When I found that out like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, bro, that's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro. Every church does it. Every denomination, like even Bethesda, like went to church. Every week they submit their service. I don't know if they're doing it weekly or by month, but they have to get it approved. And so what I'm saying, because it's a 501(c)(3), 501(c) says you have to accept everyone. You can't X anyone. And so now, like you have schools, right? You have places who are making unisex bathrooms and accepting everybody because it's a 501(c) by the government. Church, you eventually have to accept everybody, right? And so you have to create those bathrooms. You have to create to talk about these subjects. You have to stay away from these topics and saying. So I'm just going over like the control. Yeah, it's politically down here, but it goes back to who is the like. If you go on the rap, who are the elites?
Yeah, I mean, man, that's all new. That's all new to me. Like, you know, this is the first time I'm hearing that. But it also makes me think too, like, thank God we live in America to where we do have religious freedom, at least for now, right? So we're a little bit better off when it comes to that type of stuff, as opposed to, you know, maybe other countries like the United Kingdom, you know, to where, and even Canada, like we were just talking about before. I think they're all integrated, man, like religion and politics. Just like how it's always been, man. That's why I said, I think back then, you know, it was probably even more corrupt, right? Like you think about King James, right? Like he had a whole Bible, you know, written for his name. And, you know, that's where you get the letter J a lot more, right? And so there's a lot of different things that are, you know, being omitted from, you know, the Bible. And so it's kind of like pick your poison, but they're both like related, like politics and religion. It's all for a grander purpose of control. That's why people say like, oh man, I don't like religion because it's for control. Like I do see that, you know, as somebody that is a Catholic that but is a follower of Christ first, like forget the denomination. Like I just like going to church there. I'm a follower of Christ, you know? And so, yeah, it's sketchy, man.
Yeah, but it's crazy. That's how the church acts too. When we talk about, because we're always on, right? That's the whole course what Crowned is. That's what the church was supposed to be. There's the governing body. You're supposed to govern the city on the rules, but you serve God, right? And so, Yeah, bro. I think it is mixed. People try to separate. Oh, don't talk about church, but you have to, bro, because these are rules that is the way you live life, and the Bible is the way you live life, right? And so you have to mix that, bro. And so that's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy the times we live in. But I don't know where we got there. We started on FIFA, then we went on that.
But do you think everybody in every generation said that? It's crazy times that we live in right now. I feel like everybody said that.
Yeah,
Like you go back to 1300s.
Yeah,
they probably said that.
I've had this discussion with many people, man, and the reason why I'm super emphatic, dude, I was hard on this. I was bold on this because people are like, even my older brother, theologian, right? He's always, dude, the end times already happened. You look at the Bible, there was the end moment. Look at the conquistadors. Look at the black plague during that era. That was the end times, right? Why is it this time end time? The thing that's different about this, look at Babylon. Babylon was first one language. Everyone was one. There was people thought what, right? And it was what's happening with Neuralink. Neuralink is pretty much what they're saying. Hey, so you have Neuralink, you guys, there's no need for languages. Everyone's one, right? And this is the first time in the world where it's the world is together, like it was during Babylon. Back then, during the Black Plague, during the Conquest, during the medieval times, yeah, there was end time movements, but the world was not one. That was for like an era, like even like the Genghis Khan era. That was for that region.
The technology is catching up to the prophetic word.
To the so where everybody is touched, everything will be one. That's why this time is different. Does that make sense?
I agree. Oh, 100%. I agree. Yeah, like because they a lot of times because who wrote Revelation? Was it Paul?
It was John.
John. Because I think during that time it was written. They're talking about the end, or he's writing about the end times, and Nero, the Emperor Nero. I think his name equals up to 666.
Yes.
And he's doing a lot of killing, and just a horrible ruler. And so people translate Revelation to Nero being specifically referenced as the Antichrist, but I'm kind of in the belief that there's a lot of Antichrists.
I mean, yeah,
there's a lot of Antichrists, but there's going to be the one final boss.
Interesting. But you see how you say Nero, right?
Nero, yeah.
Neuralink. Come on, bro. Come on, dog.
See, hold on now. I gotta check the spelling of this, bro.
Even if the spelling is wrong, they do it like that on purpose. Why does it sound like it, bro? Like, why? You can't tell me why, but you see how my brain be working, and then I go down a rabbit hole, then I won't get nothing done because I'm like 3 hours deep into this. And bro. But I caught that. As soon as you said Neuro, I'm like, yeah, bro. And I'm like, Neuralink. It's 666. That's the whole point. Like they said Neuralink, the name of it is equivalent to the number of 666.
Dang.
Come on, dog.
You just opened up a new rabbit hole for me to check out live on the pod, man. See, this is why you need to subscribe to the CROWNEDCAST podcast, because we do things real time.
Man, dog, I'm telling you, if you want to keep going down that rabbit hole, bro, I'll be here all day. Because that one, I've been on this one for a minute. That's why I knew Neuralink and all that stuff that's going on. Like 5 years ago, they were talking about it. And I was like, yeah, dude, and then now 2026, month 6th, the month is they're pushing, they really want to push Neuralink this month. And yeah, dude, it's And if you don't have Neuralink, bro, you can't be a part of the system. And so when you look at 2 John, it says the Antichrist are already amongst you. And in 2 John, you can read it. It talks about the Antichrist. It talks about there's already many Antichrists among you, right? They started in the church, but if they knew that they should have stayed in the church, that we were brethren, they would have stayed. But instead, they left the church and rebelled against God and became Antichrist. So the Antichrist is not going to come from someone who doesn't know the church, bro. It's going to come from people within. And so that's why I look at all these corruptedness within the church. I'm like, bro, they're feeding these people like just appetizers, bro. And that's the spirit of the Antichrist. He doesn't want them to know the fullness. And so, man, bro, it gets deep, man, when you get down that rabbit hole, man. But I'm here for it. What are you looking?
I'm trying to do a I'm trying to do a Hebrew word to number conversion. I wanted to try and figure out like
I
how
thought I
many
saw a video. I
how
thought I
many
saw-
numbers Neuralink equals like because that would be crazy if it like equaled 666. I gotta find it.
I thought I saw something like a video on it. That's why as soon as you said Neuro, the leader of Neuro, I was like, hold on, if that means 666, I thought I saw Neuralink has something to do with 666, bro.
It's spelled differently.
Oh,
It's
for
spelled
sure.
differently, but symbolism.
Bruh,
Things-
it has to be spelled differently. It can't be exactly like that, man. That'd be too like, oh, the Bible's right. The Bible says it's real, but even what you said, like that leader, people forget about even his name. Right. So I hope that this conversation gets out there so people can see and hear about it. Because, bro, at the church, we're not, bro, I'm telling you, we're just taught John 3:16 every Sunday, bro. We're taught like little things here and there, and then we get a sprinkle of Jonah in the well, a sprinkle of Samson here and there. Don't talk about lust, brother. Bro, go talk about the Jesus rose from the dead. Talk about the Acts 2 movement, what that looked like, what that meant. Get into the Hebrew and talk about like, because Jesus points back at the prophets, all the Hebrew stuff. Like if you talk about everything he says, he points back to them. And then when you read the Old Testament, all those prophecies just point to Jesus. So they're both pointing to each other, but you don't know about it because we're coming every Sunday through. Hey, point number one, write this down. All the T words. So it can sound good, it can look good. You can take home, you can go home and say, here's my notes. Ah. But
I love it, man. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, Matt. But if you don't have anything else on that, I did want to get into some of the questions.
Let's do it.
I have a that I want to ask you, man, and this is gonna be more of a ranking. So lately we've been kind of shifting gears, going into our ranking, our Bible bags, and asking the rather questions, fun facts, things like that. But this one's a ranking one. So rank these leaders strongest faith to weakest. Moses, David, Esther, Daniel, and Paul. So there's 5 of them. Rank them 1 through 5. 1 is the strongest faith leader. Moses, David, Esther, Daniel, Paul.
Dang. Why you gotta do that? Okay, Moses, David, Esther, Paul. Who else?
And Daniel.
Daniel. Oh, shoot, man. This is hard.
Yup. Come on.
Dang, dude. Why you gotta do this to me? Okay. So on my five at the bottom. One is the top, 5 is the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm putting Esther.
At 5.
Esther's at 5.
Okay.
Why you do this?
I'm gonna get the women after you, bro. Esther at 5, man.
Nah, but you did this to me because they all have such strong faith.
I know.
But okay, so Esther at 5.
Okay.
Man, Paul at 4.
Dang, bro.
No. Daniel at 4. Paul at 3. David at 2. Moses at 1.
Damn, that's tough, bro.
It's tough.
I might switch Paul and David. Yeah, I'm gonna switch Paul and David, and I keep everything the same how you had. Esther might go in front of Daniel. Yeah, Esther might go in front of Daniel. So Dan might be last on my list. Daniel, Esther, David, Paul, Moses.
Yeah. Okay, so we got top 2. We got the top 2 we agree on. Yeah.
No, we didn't because I had Paul second. You had David second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I said Paul, man. He went through it all, bro. Paul went through it all. That's a bar. Yeah, I just had to have him, bro. He did. He wrote the whole New Testament, bro, and he stood in front of kings, emperors. Like he like I accidentally posted something this past week about how he was in a shipwreck, right? And the angel came to him, like he was in prison. Dude, that dude stood.
Yeah, he did go through it all, bro.
Yeah, and this dude Moses failed because he had a lusting problem, bro. So I like that he beat Goliath. I like that he was the king. He's my favorite character. But as far as like faith wise, I gotta put 3, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like so the reason why I put what I put Paul at 3.
Yeah.
he got to be around Jesus. So for me, like he saw Jesus, like he was with Jesus. So for him to continue on that journey post Jesus is
he wasn't with Jesus though.
Paul?
Yeah, remember Paul? He's the one that he killed Christians. He's the one like he was during that time, but he wasn't like his disciple. He hated Christians. He was the number one Christian killer. Bro, he killed hundreds of thousands of Christians, bro.
No, he's the one that switched. That's what's so crazy about him, though. If you really think about it, he's like he's like a terrorist.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's a terrorist, is what we would call him. And then the people that he was killing, he converted to.
Yeah. And then
you know what I mean? Like
then became
that's
the best
crazy.
Leader. And became their best leader. So
that's so like, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like all of this is relative. All of this is relative because this is it. All of them are like.
I know, but you see that? Like, how you gonna go from number one enemy to number one hero, and then you gotta like he was in jail multiple times. He got stoned. He went back to the city after. Like, it was like a continuous fate. David had it obviously went to battle and built Israel, right? But like he was
what goes around comes around though.
Yeah,
he was
so it's
God had to get his get back.
Yeah, but that was a good one, bro. I really like that one. That was a good one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Rank these Bible miracles from most impressive to least. So most impressive would be 1, 5 will be the least, right?
Okay.
Parting of the Red Sea, raising of Lazarus, feeding the 5,000, the walls of Jericho falling, Jesus walking on water. So I'm going to repeat that again. Parting the Red Sea, raising Lazarus, feeding the 5,000, the walls of Jericho falling, and Jesus walking on water. Rank it from most impressive to least.
Dang, bro.
That's how we get you, bro.
All right, so most impressive. Okay. Dang, bro, I'm mad at you. All right.
You remember all of them?
Nah, we got Red Sea, Lazarus, feeding the 5,000, Jericho, and then Jesus walking.
Yes.
Dang. Okay. So
not best, man. Most impressive. Like, oh wow.
Yeah. Most impressive.
Yeah.
So feeding the 5,000 is my number 5.
Dang, boy.
Okay.
Dang, you can out of 2 bread, you got 5,000. Dang, boy.
Nah, I know, bro. I know.
Dog, go ahead, keep going. Keep going, dog. That's fine.
I don't even like that's what's so hard. I could argue every single thing that I'm going to say.
I know, but I think I got mine though.
So the feeding the 5,000 is 5.
Dang.
Yeah. Feeding the 5,000, 5. Jericho 4. Red Seas at 3. Raising Lazarus might be number 2, and then Jesus walking on water is number 1.
This guy, bro. You went okay.
Actually, I'm gonna flip my 2. I'm gonna flip my top 2. So raising Lazarus number 1.
Dang.
And then Jesus walking on water number 2.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Go ahead. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. Mine is like completely different from yours. Like this one, dude, raising Lazarus is 5 for me.
But you're raising a dead person.
I know, man, but he can do
like
that.
That's never been done.
I think it's. I mean, it could happen though. Like even in the New Testament, Peter does it too, and like it could happen, right? And Jesus himself got raised. Like he even raised that little girl that died. Like I believe, and even the centurion. Remember, he's like, my son is dying. He'll be like, I believe that.
But that doesn't happen though.
But the 5,000, bro. Like I don't think you understand how much like people that is, bro. And like everyone's hungry. Like so, think about
5,000. It's 5,000 people.
I know, but like think about like in live person. Like I think if you think about
Nah, that'd be nuts.
think about how many people you got to feed for that. They're hungry. That's crazy. For me, that's the Lazarus 5. I think the walk on the water is 4. Like I think it's impressive, but I think the other ones are way. I think Red Sea is probably 2. 5,000 will be probably 3, and Jericho's probably 1, bro. Because ain't no way you tell me I'm walking around this building and it's like saying, "Oh, hey, walk around like the Capitol, and it's gonna fall by itself." Nah, dog. And because Jericho was strong, bro, and they're not even doing nothing but just walking, bro. You're not even like bumping against the wall. You're just walking, dude. And you're saying the whole thing is just gonna collapse.
Where'd you put the Red Sea?
It was 3. No, yeah, it was 3. Yeah, 3.
Okay, I think that was my 3.
Yeah, it was your 3 as well. It could be 2 for me. It could be 2. That one and the feeding is equal, man. For me, Jesus walking on water and Lazarus, those are my bottom tier. It's tough, but that's just one person, and it's like, I don't know.
Dang.
That was a tough one, right?
That was tough.
You
got another one? Yeah, give me one more.
Bro, one more. Rank these Bible villains from worst to least evil.
Okay.
1 is the worst evil, 5 is the least evil. They're all evil. All right. Pharaoh, Judas, Jezebel, Herod, Goliath. Again, Pharaoh, Judas, Jezebel, Herod, Goliath. Man, now this one's a tough one too. I know my last. I can tell my least.
Pharaoh, Judas, Goliath, Jezebel. Who's the other one?
Herod.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, dog. I know my last one for sure.
Well, I'm just gonna go with the theme of putting women at the last. No, I'm just kidding. Dang, man. This is actually, all of these are hard.
Yeah,
okay.
I know, dude. I know.
Let me fill in my 5 slot. Judas, Goliath, Jezebel, Pharaoh, and Herod.
Like for me, I know number 5 is pretty easy out of this group. 5 is easiest. It's like, the other 4 is pretty tough, though.
All right. I'm okay. I actually am gonna put Jezebel at 5.
What?
No, Goliath 5.
Yes.
Goliath is my 5. Okay. Because he's just big, right?
Yeah.
He was just a warrior. Just like he probably was like a mid-level guy, probably not even a general, but he was just a Nephilim, right?
Man, have you seen House of David?
No, I haven't.
You need to watch House of David.
I know
dog.
you've been telling me, bro.
Side note, watch season 2 is even better, bro. That show gets you. It makes you like remember.
Yeah.
But continue. Who's 4 for you?
Okay. Actually, hold up. My bad, people. My number 5 is Judas.
Interesting.
Goliath is my 4. Jezebel is 3. Pharaoh is 2, and Herod is 1.
That's crazy, bro. Give me explanations why, because I'm like, mine's different too on that one, dude.
Okay, so for me, Judas being like the most evil, yes, he persecuted Jesus, like that. He was the beginning. He betrayed Jesus, and then that led to Jesus being hung on the cross. But that's not all that evil for us, because guess what? We get redemption out of it, right? So like for me, yes, like that sucks. You led to like killing Jesus, but like we benefit from it. It was also part of like prophetic word. And at the end of the day, if we're just looking at it, like it's just one person, right? Again, this is all.
That's how it was with the Lazarus thing, bro. I was like, that's how it was. I was like,
yeah. Okay, so Goliath being my 4, I kind of gave that. Jezebel, I don't really remember a whole lot about her.
Well, yeah, once I tell you, you're gonna flip, but continue.
I know she was bad. I do know that. That's why they be talking about that Jezebel spirit.
Exactly.
I know enough to make a decision. But I don't know her story all like that.
Okay.
But then I had Pharaoh at number 2. Yeah, Pharaoh, evil guy. But Herod is number 1 for me just because, man, that decree to just go and kill every single baby under 3 years old. Like anything with kids for me, man, I just can't. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my perspective.
I feel you, bro. I'm gonna go mine's quick, man. Goliath's 5 because it's just one dude and it's all right, bro. Get you out the way. 4, who do we have it for? 4 is Herod for me. Yeah, 4 is Herod for me. He was a prideful king, glutton king, right? I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
3 is Judas, fulfill prophecy. One dude again, like he's bad too, man. I get it, but my top 2, Jezebel is number 2 because this Jezebel spirit, everything we live today, like basically she came to try to flip the order of God. God wanted man to be in order, right? Woman, she leads, right, and then the household, right? Jezebel, she has God's order and flip, and so she has the woman first, and then the man, and then the household. And actually, I think the man's that might be even lower than the kids, but either or, she has it flip as far as the order, and she was the one who created the ball, like not created the ball, but like pushed for ball against Elijah. Elijah's the one who called down the fire against pretty much my God versus your God, right? And God, like he justified Elijah, and then Jezebel's the one that I don't care about that. But she sent people after Elijah, try to kill him. That caused Elijah to go depressed, and then that's where the whole Jezebel spirit came from because the king had a law and the king declared the law, but he basically got overpowered by his wife, by the queen, and the queen came from a demonic spirit that was pushing against God to try to flip the order of God. And so you see today when people say Jezebel spirit or America's in the Jezebel spirit or the world is in the Jezebel spirit is because of it comes from that. I agree, bro. That's what for me it has to be high up there. Number 1 is Pharaoh because I mean Pharaoh did what Herod did. He did carry all the babies in the Nile. So there's that. But then also he thought himself was God. Like Pharaoh was like when he said I'm the sun and the moon. Like when he said he's the I am, and God was like, you know what? I'm going to show you that I'm God. And every plague God did was against all the Egyptian gods. Because God literally proved all the Egyptian gods wrong that he's the I am, right? So it's the God versus God, and yeah, you know how that's the.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I actually would flip my 2 then, to Pharaoh to 1, and then Herod to 2. Just off of that.
They both killed babies, and yeah, man, I love these, bro. Stay tuned. We're gonna do more of these different ones, but yeah, man, this is fun.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, man. So I don't have anything else. Awesome episode, man. If you guys have not yet subscribed to the CROWNEDCAST podcast, subscribe to it. Give us a like, give us a comment, man, and share this with your loved ones, your friends, the people that need to hear about Jesus from just 2 dope guys. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody's having conversations like this anywhere on the internet. I promise you, like nobody is getting to this level of just conversation with a biblical background. So, man, spread the word. We're on a mission to get 1,000 subscribers.
Come on.
Help us. We appreciate everybody that watches this show. And we just love y'all, man. So I'll go ahead and close it out with a prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for just an incredible time on a Monday of just having fellowship. And ultimately, every conversation that we had, it reverts back to you, our faith, our perspective that you've provided, and everything that you've given us, God. I just pray for everybody that's watching to have a seed planted in them today to follow through on what you've been asking them to do, what they've been praying about, but they've been getting in their own way. God, I pray for anybody that's, suffering with any health issues or diseases or just, uncertainty and even mental health issue. God, I pray that you come in, you give them peace and you give them a word, and it's in your name. We love you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. We'll see y'all on the next CROWNEDCAST podcast. Peace.